Intro. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something is missing? Not in who you are, but in how you present yourself? You've worked hard, lived through decades of lessons, built wisdom, and discovered your worth. Yet when you step into a room, you want your presence to speak before your words do. You want a look that says confidence, elegance, and experience without trying too hard. Philosopher Slavoj Žižek once said, "Luxury is not in having more but in showing less." And that single idea, when applied to your personal style, especially after 40, becomes your secret weapon. Because true attractiveness after 40 isn't about flashy clothes or following trends. It's about mastering quiet luxury, the art of looking powerful, composed and desirable through subtle, sophisticated choices. In this video, we're diving deep into 10 quiet luxury color combinations that make you instantly more attractive. Combinations that women notice not because they scream for attention, but because they whisper confidence, intelligence, and timeless class. Zizek often argues that what we wear reflects how we think. And when you're over 40, your fashion no longer needs to shout. It should communicate strength without aggression, wealth without arrogance, and confidence without desperation. This is elegance redefined, philosophical, mature, and magnetic. Let's begin this journey of transformation, guided by the wisdom of aesthetics and the philosophy of presence. Because when your style aligns with who you've become, the world doesn't just see you, they feel you. The psychology of quiet luxury. Why simplicity becomes power after 40. Slavoj Žižek often explores the idea that modern society is addicted to appearances. We've been conditioned to believe that more is more. More patterns, more colors, more symbols of success. But after 40, true sophistication lies in restraint. Quiet luxury is the rebellion against loudness. It's the art of wearing minimal tones that evoke calm dominance. Think about it. When a man in his 40s or 50s walks into a room wearing muted earth tones, balanced grays, or a rich navy paired with ivory, he doesn't beg for attention. Yet eyes naturally turn toward him. Why? Because stillness commands more presence than noise. Zizek might say that quiet luxury is an ideological reversal, where meaning comes from subtlety, not display. The fewer colors you wear, the deeper your impact. Each tone becomes a statement of confidence, not competition. When you wear beige and espresso brown together, it's not just a color combo. It's a declaration that you've matured beyond trends. It tells the world, I no longer chase approval. I embody it. And women notice that. Studies in color psychology show that neutral pairings like taupe and cream create perceptions of emotional stability, security, and leadership, qualities that women subconsciously associate with attractiveness and trustworthiness. Quiet luxury isn't about hiding your personality, it's about refining it. After 40, you don't want to look young, you want to look ageless. You want to reflect depth. You want people to feel that you've seen enough of life to value substance over show. The first color combo, charcoal and camel, authority with warmth. Let's start with the first quiet luxury color combination, charcoal and camel. Charcoal represents grounded confidence. It's the color of intellect, of decisiveness. It's serious yet smooth. And when paired with camel, a tone of warmth, sophistication, and understated wealth, you create balance between logic and heart. This is a pairing for men who've lived, learned, and now lead with quiet certainty. When you wear a charcoal blazer with a camel coat or scarf, it gives you a cinematic presence. It's not the outfit that impresses, it's the aura. Slavoj Žižek often speaks about contradictions, the beauty that lies between extremes. Charcoal and camel represent that philosophical tension. the masculine and the soft, the assertive and the gentle. Together they form visual harmony that tells women you're composed, approachable yet strong. Color psychologists suggest that camel tones signal trust, empathy, and approachability. Women instinctively read it as emotionally secure. Combine that with charcoal's association with leadership and control, and you've created the perfect visual paradox, commanding yet comforting. When you enter a restaurant or social gathering dressed in these tones, you stand out not by contrast but by cohesion. People feel your energy before they notice your clothing. That's the true magic of quiet luxury. It's magnetic without motion. Žižek might say that this is where fashion meets ideology. You're no longer performing wealth, you're performing presence. Quiet luxury is about detachment from the need to prove, while still embracing the joy of refinement. So next time you open your wardrobe, skip the bright blues or excessive patterns. Instead, build your outfit around depth. Choose charcoal for confidence, camel for connection. Together they tell your story, a story of experience, clarity, and charm that words can't convey. Olive and cream, the color of depth and balance. Philosopher Slavoj Žižek once said, "We are defined not by what we show, but by what we withhold." And this statement perfectly captures the essence of olive and cream, one of the most quietly powerful color combinations you can wear after 40. Olive green carries a subtle masculinity. It's strong, earthy, and deeply grounded in nature. It doesn't scream for attention, it invites it. When paired with cream, a soft, clean, and neutral tone, it creates a visual dialogue between power and peace. Think of an olive bomber jacket layered over a cream knit turtleneck, or a soft cream shirt beneath an olive blazer. It's sophisticated, serene, and effortlessly mature. These colors mirror a man who's comfortable with silence, who doesn't need noise to validate his value. Zizek often speaks about how society manipulates desire, that we are taught to seek validation from excess. But after 40, the real desire is to simplify. Olive and cream embody that simplification. They whisper, "I know who I am," instead of shouting, "Look at me." Color psychology tells us that olive represents wisdom, resilience, and composure, traits women instinctively associate with emotional intelligence. Cream, on the other hand, reflects purity and gentleness. Combined, they project a man who is both grounded and gracious, a rare balance that women find incredibly attractive. This combo works in every season, but especially in fall and early spring, when natural tones echo the quiet transition of the earth. Wearing olive and cream makes you appear connected to life's rhythm, a man who moves with purpose, not pressure. So, when you open your wardrobe tomorrow, try pairing your olive chinos with a cream Henley or your olive overcoat with a light-toned scarf. You'll look not only stylish but profoundly composed, a living reflection of understated luxury. Navy and ivory, the language of authority and grace. If quiet luxury had a uniform, it would be navy and ivory. This pairing is timeless, intellectual, and effortlessly powerful. Zizek often says that true meaning is hidden beneath repetition. That's why navy and ivory never go out of style. They've repeated through generations, yet they never lose relevance. They represent order, wisdom, and clarity. Navy has always symbolized authority. Think of sailors, officers, or leaders. It's the color of dependability, of trust. When balanced with ivory, a softer, warmer white, it transforms that authority into elegance. The two together say, "I am confident but not controlling, intelligent but not intimidating." When you're over 40, your attractiveness doesn't come from trying to look younger. It comes from embodying composure. Women notice when a man walks into a room wearing a navy suit with an ivory shirt or a navy sweater paired with ivory chinos. It's a visual representation of stability and sophistication. Zizek might argue that the beauty of this combination lies in its ideological purity. It's not contaminated by trends. It's minimal but full of substance.
Navy anchors your image and authority.
Ivory lightens it with humanity. That tension between the structured and the soft creates visual harmony that immediately draws the eye. Psychologically, Navy communicates security and leadership, while Ivory represents cleanliness and emotional warmth. Together, they give off an aura of credibility and quiet charisma. You don't need to tell anyone you've succeeded. They'll feel it in the way you present yourself. So if you ever doubt what to wear for an important meeting, a date or a dinner event, remember this. Navy and Ivory never fail. They are not just colors. They are your silent introduction before you even speak. In Zizek's terms, it's a paradox how something so simple can be so rich. But that's the philosophy of quiet luxury. Elegance through understatement, stone gray and soft white, timeless masculine grace. There's something poetic about gray and white. They're not loud, not dominant, but they carry an almost spiritual calm. Stone gray and soft white is the fifth quiet luxury color combination every man over 40 should master. Gray represents intellect, self-discipline, and emotional control. It's the color of wisdom, neutrality, and thoughtfulness. When you pair it with soft white, it creates a clean, confident, and almost meditative balance. Slavoj Žižek might describe this as the aesthetic of neutrality, the ability to exist without the need for extremes. Gray doesn't demand attention, it earns it. White doesn't compete, it clarifies. Together they make you look refined, serene, and quietly dominant. Imagine a stone gray wool coat with a white turtleneck underneath. Or a soft gray sweater with crisp white trousers. The look is so understated that it becomes magnetic. Women notice men who wear gray and white not because it's trendy, but because it feels emotionally stable. Color psychology reveals that gray conveys maturity, reliability, and sophistication, attributes strongly associated with attraction after 40. White amplifies that energy with freshness and balance. It tells the world that you've evolved, no longer chasing validation, but embracing self-respect. Zizek often says that modern life is a theater of appearances. But in that theater, the man dressed in stone gray and soft white plays a different role. He's not the loud performer, but the silent observer who owns the stage without uttering a word. This color pairing is also deeply versatile. You can wear it in business, leisure, or travel. It adapts just like you have through the phases of life. It's the color of control, wisdom, and clean beginnings. Perfect for men who have outgrown chaos and crave simplicity with strength. Stone gray and soft white aren't just colors. They are a philosophy of peace through presence. They tell the world, I've lived enough to understand that elegance is not about being seen, it's about being remembered. Espresso and sand, the warmth of confidence, Slavoj Žižek once said, desire is never about the thing you want, but about the feeling you imagine it will give you. And that's exactly what espresso and sand represent. Not just visual appeal, but emotional resonance. Espresso brown is rich, deep, and quietly powerful. It reflects wisdom earned through experience, the color of deep conversation, late nights, and quiet victories. When balanced with the tone of sand, it creates an image that feels natural, warm, and effortlessly approachable. Think of a man wearing an espresso-colored suede jacket over a sand-toned sweater. He doesn't appear overdressed. He appears collected. The world reads this combination as emotional warmth paired with masculine steadiness, an irresistible blend of reliability and calm energy. Zizek might call this the aesthetics of intimacy. In fashion, as in philosophy, meaning often hides in the spaces between extremes. Espresso gives you depth, Sand gives you openness. One grounds you, the other softens you. Psychologically, brown tones are associated with comfort and authenticity. They tell others you're secure in your own skin. Sand tones symbolize simplicity and transparency, two traits women instinctively find trustworthy. Combined, they form an aura that feels grounded yet alive, confident yet kind. After 40, this is how attractiveness evolves. It's no longer about chasing validation. It's about radiating assurance. Espresso and sand make you look like a man who knows exactly who he is, who no longer needs to prove anything. Žižek would say that true power lies in detachment. When you wear this color pairing, you project that very detachment. Calm mastery of life's rhythm, where passion and peace coexist. So, the next time you're choosing what to wear on a relaxed evening or a weekend dinner, reach for espresso and sand. It's the color code of emotional intelligence, a visual statement that says, I'm comfortable being me. Black and beige, the philosophy of mystery and balance. And now we reach the final combination, black and beige, the ultimate symbol of contrast and control. Zizek famously said, reality is not black or white. It's the tension between both that gives it depth. That's why this pairing is not only visually captivating but philosophically meaningful. Black is mystery, discipline, and quiet dominance. Beige is serenity, neutrality, and warmth. Together they form a paradox. Strength wrapped in softness, confidence tempered by humility. When a man over 40 wears black and beige, he's communicating mastery. A black wool coat over a beige cashmere turtleneck, or a black shirt with beige trousers speaks volumes without words. It says, I know the rules of elegance, and I've chosen which ones to break. Color psychology suggests black signals control and emotional depth, while beige projects approachability. Women subconsciously interpret this as safe mystery, intriguing yet trustworthy. It's the color version of quiet confidence. Žižek would argue that this combination represents the balance between identity and detachment, to be both seen and unseen, to stand out precisely by refusing to compete. In a society addicted to spectacle, subtle contrast becomes the most radical form of rebellion. Wearing black and beige after 40 tells the world you've entered a different stage of life. You've refined your energy. You've replaced noise with presence. You've learned that mystery is not about hiding. It's about revealing less, with precision. And that is what women truly notice. Not the brand you wear, but the energy you carry when you wear it. The philosophy of quiet attractiveness as we close. Remember this, quiet luxury isn't about money. It isn't about labels. It's about awareness. The awareness of what suits you, what feels authentic, and what amplifies your natural energy. Slavoj Žižek reminds us that style, like ideology, is a mirror. It reflects not what we own, but how we think. When you reach 40 and beyond, your fashion should echo your evolution. Minimal, intentional, and dignified. Each of these color combinations, from charcoal and camel to black and beige, tells the world that you've moved beyond the superficial chase of youth. You've entered a phase of refinement, where elegance replaces effort and subtlety becomes power. Women notice that. They sense when a man dresses not to impress, but to express inner peace. That calm self-possession is magnetic, far more than flashy colors or trendy styles. Quiet luxury is not just a look, it's a mindset. It's the art of restraint, the poetry of confidence, and the philosophy of being enough. So as you step into your day, let your colors speak your story. Let them say that you've lived, learned, and now lead, not through volume, but through stillness. Because in the end, as Zizek would put it, the most powerful form of attraction is not desire, it's depth. And when you embody that depth through quiet elegance, you don't just look attractive, you become unforgettable.